Now I'm recording. Giselle, are you able to see everything okay and still admit participants? Can't see you. Yes? Okay, perfect. Thank you, Giselle. All right. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to give you guys the Nearpod code. And we're going to do this together. We're going to do it as a live lesson. And Giselle, you and me might just have to tag team actually, because it's going to be hard for you to go back and forth and admit participants. So after I start, actually, I'll go ahead and admit participants so that you don't have to try to go back and forth. It'll be hard on your iPad. All right. Here is your code. VBWDI. And I'm going to put that in the chat. That way if somebody joins us later, it'll be there. Now, I know you guys have probably noticed that in the Nearpod or in the chat, you guys can no longer chat to the group. Found a way to disable that. Helps us to all stay focused on what we're doing. All right, so the Nearpod code is in the chat box if you need it later, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. VBWDI. Okay, go ahead and log in. All right, perfect. I see that everybody is got their Zoom in the background. Most of you do. Kaylee, when you're on Nearpod and it's running in the background, can you still hear me? You're unmuted.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. We're still missing some people. Let's go ahead and get logged in Nearpod. Brielle, Connor, are you guys logged into Nearpod?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I will put another code up for a self-paced Nearpod lesson of this version in case for some reason you get kicked out and you need to do this on your own. All right, let's get started. There is a quiz at the end, so I do need for you guys to follow along until the end. And then I will post your Kahoot for today's classroom assignment. I will post that Kahoot to the agenda right after our lesson. But I have a couple people who are doing the assignments and not paying attention to the lesson. So we're trying to nip that in the bud. All right.
Ms. Hernandez.
Yes.
On my thing, it says downloading lesson.
Oh, okay. Well, it'll eventually get caught up. So just be patient and just kind of listen and follow along as it downloads your lesson, okay? All right, so what is the digestive system and how does it work? So today we're going to learn about the digestive system. You can't see the digestive system, but your body uses this system every day to process all the foods you eat. Well, let's learn more. So we're going to talk about some of the vocabulary. Pay attention to the vocabulary because you will be using the vocabulary in the Kahoot today. So the first word is digestion, and that is the way that your body gets nutrients and energy from the food you eat. So digestion is how your body gets nutrients from your food. What are nutrients? This is a big word that we've been using a lot as we've been talking about the digestive system. The nutrients are material needed to feed your body and keep it running. Your vitamins, your minerals, your carbohydrates, your proteins, all of those are nutrients. Then we've got the esophagus. That's that long tube that runs from the back of your mouth all the way down to your stomach. The esophagus is the tube that goes down to reach your stomach. Look at that. What? Does y'all's have a fill in the blank, or does it give you the answer?
It gave us the answer.
Oh my gosh. I
Yeah,
don't even know why. I don't even know why I did that. That is super lame-o. All right, mute your mics. I'm gonna read the sentence to you guys, and we're gonna just keep rolling on, just like this never happened. All right, so the digestive system helps your body use nutrients and to make energy. Many organs help in digestion. The process starts with the esophagus, a tube-like organ that takes food down to your stomach. All right, that was lame. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so what exactly is digestion? When you eat, a lot of things start to happen in your body. That's because your digestive system is starting to work. And it's made up of organs that break down food into tiny molecules. Once these molecules are small enough, they can enter your bloodstream and be distributed to cells. That's how your body gets energy from food. All right, so the parts of the digestive system are your esophagus, your stomach, and then from your stomach, your food goes to your large intestine or your small intestine, then it goes to your large intestine. And the liver is also a part of your digestive system. One of the things that we haven't talked about as much as the esophagus, stomach, and intestines is the liver. And that helps your body get rid of wastes. Okay, so when you digest something or when you find a big juicy hamburger that you want to eat, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to chew that big juicy hamburger. And when you chew that big juicy hamburger, the glands in your cheeks and under your tongue start to make saliva to moisten the food. And these salivary glands also secrete enzymes which help to break down starches in the mouth. So the food that enters your mouth, Connor, please stop playing with your camera. The food that enters your mouth does not look the same as the food that goes down the back of your throat and down into your esophagus. When it starts to get all mushed up and mushy and soft, you swallow. And that's when your food enters the esophagus, which is the tube that carries swallowed food from the throat to the stomach. And it says that it creates peristaltic waves, and pretty much that's just like vibrating waves down the esophagus that helps to move the food down when you swallow. And this is kind of what it looks like when you swallow. And then once the food passes through the esophagus, it enters the stomach, which churns your food and secretes enzymes and acids, which help in digestion and further break down that mushy food that you swallowed. Your small intestine comes next. After the stomach, your food then enters the small intestine, where the majority is absorbed and digested by chemicals that the liver excretes. The nutrients are absorbed through the walls of the small intestine and then picked up by the blood to be transported to all the cells of your body. So remember that in the small intestine, there's little villi, and they're like little, little things that stick out, kind of like a toothbrush bristle, and they reach up and they grab the nutrients and send it out to the rest of your body. After it gets in the small intestine, it goes to the large intestine or your colon, and that's where your water is absorbed and the body and it exits our body through the colon. So, AKA, you poop out everything else that you don't need. All right? Again, you poop out what you don't need. What's left of your food goes into the rectum, and then that eliminates waste from your body. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how that big juicy hamburger goes from your hand to your mouth, down your esophagus, and your stomach. Nutrients are sucked up by the small intestine's villi, and then any extra water is absorbed through the large intestine, and then what you don't need goes down a toilet. All right. We have time here for a short answer question, but I'm not going to require that you guys answer that because I do know that a few of you have some things that you need to get done at 9:30. So we're just going to keep on chugging along. Unless somebody wants to talk about when you have felt your digestive system working. They might felt their digestive system working. Anybody? What about when you're really hungry and your tummy rumbles? Or maybe you swallowed too big of a piece of food, too much for the esophagus to push down. Tyon?
Stomachache.
Huh?
Got a stomachache.
Oh, you've had a stomach ache, yeah. And that definitely helps to remind us that our stomach is definitely there, right? Saisha.
It's like when I almost choked on a piece of ice.
All right. Definitely too large and hard to go down that esophagus. You probably feel the pain as that large piece of ice try to work its way down, and thankfully it probably eventually melted. All right, Maverick.
I choked on a really big piece of orange and I couldn't breathe.
Oh my gracious, that is horrible. All right, let's keep rolling. What do you think is the most important organ for digestion? What do you think is the most important organ for digestion?
Stomach.
Your stomach, all right. Brielle thinks it's the stomach. Riley, I can't see if that's Wintermute or Bird. Whoever raised your hand.
The mouth, because it is what makes the food smaller chunks to go and fit down the throat.
Okay, very good. So without the mouth and it breaking down the food and beginning that process, then our stomach really probably couldn't use the food. All right. I love that you gave an explanation for why you chose that. Kaylee Neiman.
The small intestines, because they get the nutrients to give the body.
Absolutely. I like that you also gave some evidence to support your answer. And yes, the small intestines is what pulls the nutrients from our food and delivers it to the blood so it can be transported to the rest of the body. Excellent job. I think there was a few more people who Maverick.
Mine was the small intestine too.
Okay, yours was the small intestines. Was it for the same reason?
Yeah, because like the small intestine, it helps get the nutrients, while the large intestine gets like all the water and stuff out of the food.
Yeah, very good. That's excellent. Nobody said the large intestines? Well, if we didn't have the large intestine, all that extra food that we couldn't use, all that extra stuff, it would just get all backed up. Got to have the large intestines and the rectum to get rid of all that stuff we can't use. Our body would be like an episode of Hoarders. We'd have so much stuff we can't use stored up in our body. Our body wouldn't be able to function correctly. That'd be terrible. All right.
What if we explode?
What'd you say?
I said, what if we explode?
Hey, that could definitely happen. Not gonna lie. Well, maybe we can't explode, but our large intestines, small intestines, our organs could, definitely. On the next slide, we're going to watch a video to review what we've learned. Pay attention as you watch, because there is going to be a quiz at the end. Not there may be, but there is going to be a quiz. Do y'all want to watch it on Zoom or do you want to watch it on your own iPads?
I'm on Zoom. I'm not on the Nearpod.
Okay.
iPad, because when you do it, it's gonna glitch out.
Okay. I don't know if it'll play. I don't know if it will play on.
Nearpod?
Yeah, because I'm recording the lesson.
It does play, I think.
All right, everybody come back to Zoom so we can watch the video, and then I'll let you go back to your Nearpod. Don't close out. Just switch apps. And then I'll also link this video just in case it's glitchy. But I need everybody back to Zoom so that you can watch the video. And I will experiment a little bit with that for the next lesson. So that, so KJ, I need you to come back. Maya, Sean, Ryan, Alora, Giselle, Malachi, I need you guys to come back. All right. I will experiment with it a little bit, and if I find that it will work, if I do all and I can still play it and show it through the Nearpod, then I'll do it that way next time.
Kids Health presents How the Body Works with Chloe and the Nerve.
Can y'all hear it?
I think I watched this video before.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
A little bit.
You can hear it?
I can
Just a little bit.
Okay, mute your mics. If you can hear it, that's fine. Mute your mics. If you can't hear it, leave it in the chat.
Can't hear it. Turn it on.
I see your gallstones and raise you 4 tonsils. Go! What you got? Read 'em and weep. A pair of kidneys. Well, filter my trash. Too bad for you, I have a straight set of teeth. Arr, stupid good-for-nothing cards. I curse the day I bought you. Double or nothing?
Nerb, did you eat chili again?
That's not me, Chloe.
Nerb, let's get out of here!
I can't. I'm paralyzed with fear. Chloe, wake up.
Where are we?
We're in the mouth, a gateway to the digestive system.
The digestive system?
Yup, it takes the food you eat, breaks it down, and turns it into energy you can use. It's trying to break us down into tiny pieces as we speak. Oh, don't worry, Chloe. That's why we're wearing these spiffy anti-digestive suits.
Nerb, what's this goop on my arm?
Oh, that's saliva. As soon as you take a bite of food, digestion begins. Saliva contains things called enzymes that start breaking down food immediately. Looks like we're in the esophagus, a tube that runs from your mouth to the stomach.
Ouch!
Oh, happy day! Food! Now we can watch it be digested.
Lucky us.
Look at the food! Look at it! Right here in the stomach. Gastric juices are starting to break it down. It's amazing!
Gastric juices?
Yes, sirree. Gastric juice isn't like orange or grape juice. Your stomach secretes a mix of acid and enzymes that start digesting the food you eat. The stomach also churns the partially digested food, turning it into a lovely, liquidy mush. Then the food moves into the small intestine. Bye-bye, handsome.
Handsome. That combo of chewed up food and gastric juices was gross.
Well, then you're gross.
Excuse me?
Whoa, you've seen this combo of chewed up food and gastric juices erupt from your own body if you've ever thrown up.
Oh, I have seen that before.
Nerve vomit sparkles with all the colors of the rainbow.
I think it's time to move on to the small intestine.
Here we are. The first part of the small intestine is called the duodenum, and it's where liquefied food goes next. Duodenum, duodenum, duodenum. There are more digestive juices found here, like bile. Bile is made in the liver and stored in the gallbladder until your body needs it. Bile and enzymes from the pancreas break down the proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. It's here that the body absorbs the vitamins and minerals from the food.
Whoa!
Welcome to the large intestine.
Hold on. If the small intestine does all of that, why do we even need a large intestine?
Oh, my dear Chloe, of course you need a large intestine. The large intestine has an important job: to absorb water and salt.
So, what's left?
At the end of the digestive process, anything that hasn't been absorbed is considered waste, which your body doesn't need. In other words, poop.
Nerve, what's that sound? Uh-oh.
Whoa! Whoa!
How am I going to tell my diary about this?
Just say, today me and my best buddy Nerve went on a journey through the digestive system, and we had the time of our lives.
Okay.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that just as much as I did. So at this time, you've got 3 questions to answer about the video.
Miss Hernandez
Yes.
still won't let me on.
It won't let you on the Nearpod?
No, it
Yeah,
keeps
same thing.
Hold on, one person at a time. PJ, go ahead.
it keeps on saying downloading lesson.
Let me. I'm gonna post another Nearpod code to the agenda. See if you can scroll all the way to the end of that one after our lesson. See if it'll load for you. If not, I'll just create a quick little Google form and you can answer the 3 questions there for me, okay?
Okay.
I do want for you guys to please read the question carefully. Right now, our diagram is not looking too good. You guys have answered just as many questions incorrect as you have answered correct. And we've been working on this for a couple weeks now, so please make sure you're reading carefully. Okay, so now we've answered more questions incorrect than we have answered correct. I would really rather not make this public. So those of you who have not answered, please go ahead and answer. I'm actually going to stop screen sharing. That way I can look at the names and you guys won't see what everybody else has done. But Colby, I need for you to answer the 3 questions, please. Maya, both Rileys, I need for you to, or all, Riley G and Riley Eubanks, I need for you guys to answer the questions, please. Sean and Trapper.
I like doing science. Science is fun.
Well, I'm glad you like science.
Yeah.
All right, so I did tell you at the end of our lesson today, there was also going to be a Kahoot. Trapper, I need for you to answer the questions.
I fixed one of mine.
Okay, it's looking a little bit better. All right, hello, Andrea. You have missed the lesson, so I'm going to put a recording of the lesson into your agenda. I need for you to go back and watch that and take the quiz at the end of the Nearpod after the lesson. Did Riley Eubanks have to leave maybe? He did tell me he had to leave at 9:30. I think that's what happened to him. Okay. All right, so I am going to go ahead and give you guys the Nearpod code, or not the Nearpod, sorry, the Kahoot code for your Kahoot today. And I'm also going to put it in the agenda, but this is your Kahoot code for today. Do not complete the Kahoot until you have finished the lesson. So, Andrea, I do not want you doing the Kahoot right now.
Mr. Hernandez, what lesson?
This lesson. You're good. Everybody who has been with me the whole time, you're ready to answer the Kahoot. Please make sure that you guys take your time when you answer your questions, please. Because we definitely should be able to move along from the human body systems to do some more fun stuff in science. But since this is our last unit, I can't move on until I know that you guys have it.
Hey, I'm in.
All right, and I'm going to put this in the chat so that I can stop screen sharing. And if nobody has any questions for me, if you're done and you have no questions for me, you are free to go. And I'll see you at family time at 10 o'clock. If not, I'm still here. If you want to do the Kahoot while I'm here, you can do the Kahoot and ask me questions as you go along.
Mr. Bye.
Yes, Giselle?
I can't click off the participant.